Unresolved Problem segment tonight, as we mentioned in our lead story, all over the country, illegal alien dramas are being played out. Here in New York City, 9 children, 1 adult, killed in a horrendous fire last March. 22 people were packed into a tenement in the Bronx where there were no fire escapes and the smoke alarms didn't work. Now, some of those in the tenement were illegal aliens from Africa. Now, one of those illegals, Mamadou Mouré, may sue the New York City Fire Department and other agencies. Mouré lost his wife and 4 young children in the blaze. This now is the attorney representing Mouré, Michael Wiles.
How are you, Bill?
Okay. Now, this is a very troubling case on a number of different levels. It was my contention in the very beginning that the reason these children, 9 children, 1 adult, were killed was because the New York City Fire Department and other agencies have a hands-off policy toward illegal aliens. It's a sanctuary city here in New York, and they just let them do what they want. So they didn't zero in on 22 people packed in a tenement, whereas if it were some other group, they might have. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but I know that illegal aliens in New York are pretty much ignored by the authorities. Now, your guy may sue, and you're going to represent him, the Fire Department of New York, for what?
Bill, I represent him on his immigration proceedings, and I was on your show a few weeks ago when we discussed this matter. Clearly, in the absence of any significant guidance from Washington and Congress on immigration reform, you're going to have significant collateral damage. In order to protect my client's interests, he needs to file a notice of claim within 90 days. He's not necessarily going to sue firemen. We all have the greatest respect for the fire personnel.
You filed and he can. But here's what I'm getting at. Look. This guy's in the country illegally from West Africa, okay? All right, we all know that, and here he is. And then this terrible tragedy befalls him, and it's awful, and everybody, 9 children, my God. But my contention is if we had a decent immigration policy here, that this wouldn't happen, because we'd know who was here, we wouldn't allow 22 people to be packed in a tenement, and we pay attention to these people and where they are and what they're doing.
Bill, I happen to agree with your premise that if we had effective leadership in Washington, we would have the resources, and the city then wouldn't be stuck with the bill. I'm also a mayor in Englewood, New Jersey, where I live. I know the education and the financial costs of schools and hospital bills and all that being shouldered by the community. But we are a nation that has embraced the most noblest of terms, and that is we will allow somebody to bury their dead. In this case, the government acted so demonstrably well by allowing my client to depart to Mali.
And then he came back.
Front page photo of my client's 4 children in coffins and his wife being placed in the ground.
And now he's going to sue the city?
And now he's back on U.S. soil, and we are going to ask for deferred departure. Let's say we find out that it was a space heater, it was a power cord, it was faulty wiring or something that happened that we won't learn, and that the city had something to do with it. I'm not saying the fire department didn't get there fast enough. Let's say an application was made and my client did not get judicious or expeditious handling by a fire prevention bureau or someplace, and it could have saved these children. We need to preserve their right, have an investigatory
period of time. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you have a sanctuary city policy, as they have in New York City and Los Angeles and many other cities, that basically the authorities leave illegal aliens alone in every area. They don't check their houses. They don't check their anything because they're scared to death of what happened in Mamaroneck.
Listen, it's a federal matter. Mayor Koch.
No, this is a local
matter.
Mayor
Koch years ago said if this was serious by the federal government, then I'd like to see the Army and the National Guard here.
Do you think this guy's going to sue the city of New York?
Listen, I don't think he's going to sue the fire department, and I don't know.
Not.
We don't know enough facts here whether or not he has a cause of action against the city. We need to preserve the evidence. Listen, Bill, we're going into the government in the next 24 hours with a request that actually came when my father represented John Lennon in the 70s for deferred departure. This is where we're asking the government to effectively take a man who lost his wife and 4 children and put his case on the bottom of the list. You agreed on your last show that he deserved a green card. We're asking them not to remove him.
Okay. We'll follow the story. I just hope you don't sue the fire department in New York. I think that would be terrible. Counselor, thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
When we come back, 2 legal controversies. Should online dating services be forced to accept gay clients?